Hi, I'm Donna. Class today for your shoulders and your neck. If you have blocks, grab a couple, they'll be really nice at the end of the practice. And if you don't, a couple of blankets would be good. And if you have a strap or a belt, it'd be really good if you could have those things, but it's fine without. I'll show you an alternative. So we're going to start against the wall. Oh, another thing you'll need. I've just got a bit of a wall, back of the door. So let me show you what we're going to do. You might have to pause the video so you can find a bit of wall. But you need to stand so you've got that much room. So your elbows are straight out from your shoulders. Good. But first of all, we're going to put the feet together. Just close your eyes and get your heels in as close as you can to the wall. Tuck the tailbone forward so your lower back is long, and see if you can get your shoulder blades to slide down. And press down into your feet, but lift up through the top of the head. Just noticing whether it feels like you've got to squash the back of your neck to reach the wall. And don't do that. Let your head float with the ears at the top of the spine, where the position feels best for you. If you feel really off balance after you've made those adjustments, just walk your feet out the minimum distance you need from the wall. So we're checking in. Breathe deeply. Feel your feet on the floor and the head lifting so the neck is lengthening. Shoulder blades reaching down. Good. Just reach back with your hands towards the wall so the chest feels wide. Just noticing where you might feel a little unnatural in your posture, or where it might feel really nicely aligned. Good. Bring your hands in front of your heart. We're going to try and keep that part of the body feeling spacious and buoyant today. Good. And step your feet your hip width distance. Take your elbows straight out from your shoulders. Good. We're going to try and get the shoulder blades really nice and flat against the back ribs. Lift the front of your legs, lift the front of the hips, keep the lower back long. So you're using your front core. Good, and then we're going to try and straighten the arms. Try and keep your hands and your elbows against the wall. So it might not work. Just see how you go. Take it easy, listen to your shoulders. Good, and we're going to try and straighten the arms all the way up. Good, and then keeping the hands and the elbows as close to the wall as you can. Bring them back to shoulder height, elbows at shoulder height. Good, so we're going to breathe in and reaching up, and as you exhale. Good. Just don't let your belly spill forward and your lower back squash, so keep the lower back long. Keep the neck relaxed. Ooh. Good, focusing between the shoulder blades. Good, and then release. Nice, and just stepping away from the wall, you just need enough room to stand with your feet under your hips. Take your arms down by your side. So try and recreate that posture when you were standing against the wall. So lift the front of the thighs, lift the belly, lift the breastbone. And your lower back feels long. Good. And just take notice of how your skull sits on your spine. Good. Turn your palms out and inhale and lift your arms. And as you exhale, you're letting the arms float back down so you can keep your eyes closed. So turning the palms up, inhale, lift the arms. As you exhale, letting the arms relax down. Good. And all the while, we're lifting, feeling spacious around the heart, keeping the back of the neck relaxed, the throat relaxed. Tuning into the breath, and notice if your idea of how you should be moving is what is controlling your movement. Just let the rhythm follow your breathing, your natural breath rhythm. Let the perceptions, the ideas of what you're supposed to be doing go. follow your breath. Noticing each sensation, whether it's easeful or difficult. Learning from your body. Good. And then finishing off. Just to open your eyes, we're going to take some shoulder rolls. So shoulders up to the ears and shoulder blades down. Shoulders up to the ears and shoulder blades down. Good. Okay, now this is where we can use a strap or a belt. And I'll show you what you're going to do, just about that long. If you've had a shoulder injury, then you need to give yourself lots of space. So you might have to be out really wide, depending on your shoulders. So you find a position, just take it nice and slow, and you're just going to let the strap come back. So if it feels like it stops, you get stuck, let your arms out as far as it's not going to hurt you to take your arms down. Come back up. Ooh, missed the hair. Good, and come. So try that, and you just adjust it to what you need, what your shoulders need. We'll stand with the feet under the hips. Good, tuck the tailbone forward. Good, and we're trying to keep the arms really, really even. So you might have a stretchy strap. Some people have the elastic sort of straps, and that's okay, but keep your arms really even. Good. If you don't have any piece of equipment, just repeat. Arms up and down. Good, and then you're going to release. Take some shoulder rolls. Shoulders up, shoulder blades down. Shoulders up, shoulder blades down. Good, and then come to the front of the mat. Tidy up. And stand with the feet under the hips. Take the arms up. Feel into that space between your shoulder blades. We're going to make a little back bend, look up. Good, and then release. Now this time use your whole body to help. So we're going to lift the kneecaps, lift the front of the legs, lift the front of the hips. And now make a back bend, look up. We're not squashing the back, the whole spine looks up. And as you exhale, Tadasana. Good, lift the front of the legs, lift the front of the hips, look up. Good, and as you exhale, bend your knees and reach forward into Uttanasana. And you can hold here, you can hold onto the floor. We're going to try and keep the focus here between the shoulder blades. Reach that part of the spine forward, look forward. And then as you exhale, try and lift that part of the spine right up to the ceiling. And then inhale and look forward. And as you exhale, lift that up. All right, and we're going to come back into an all fours position. So you can just step your feet to the back of the mat or come back in a way that feels suitable. Good, and we're going to continue with that cat stretch. So fingers nice and wide, even spaces, press the fingerprints. Stretch the thumbs, press the base of the index fingers, and we're really trying to lift and drop that thoracic part of the spine, so between the shoulder blades. Good, and then let that become a whole back stretch. So lifting your lower back as well. Good, and we're going to try and do the same thing in plank position. So if plank's a little bit too strong for you, you can just walk your hands forward. So you take a little bit more weight by having the knees back behind the hips, or you can tuck your toes under and come into plank. So just the same thing in your hands. Good, but we're going to lift up between the shoulder blades and then see if you can bring that part of your spine forward and then lifting. So the thoracic spine, really focusing there. Keep the tailbone tucking forward here so your lower back feels nice and long, not compressed. You can hear it's hard work for me. Remember, you can have your knees on the floor. Keep breathing. Good, and then take a little break. Knees on the floor and arms back beside you in child's pose. Following your breath, just taking notice of the sensation in your spine. We're trying to get the focus really in between the shoulder blades, at the base of the neck, strengthening that part of our body. Enjoying the spaciousness of each breath and the letting go. Good, and then reach your arms all the way forward. And coming up into downward facing dog pose. Okay, now walk your feet far enough forward so you can get your heels right down on the floor. And you might need to warm up a little bit. You can just pedal one leg and then the other, or press both heels down, lift your kneecaps, lift the sit bones. All right, we're going to just shift the weight a little to your right and lift your left arm or hand off the floor and reach back and take hold of the outside of your right leg. And if you can, you try and reach right back to the foot. Good. Letting the upper back lengthen, widen, and breathing. Keep your neck nice and long. Belly hollows and lengthens. Good. And then release your left hand back. Great. And then shift your weight a little to your left. Pick up your right hand. Reach back, hold the outside of your left leg. And if you can, reach all the way down. You can bend your knees to get your hand to hook around your left foot. And then get your legs straight again. Oh, turn your torso to the left. And the space between the shoulder blades is reaching forward. Neck is long. Press the heels down. Lift the kneecaps. Good, and then release back into downward facing dog pose. Nod your head. Make sure your neck feels really long. Lift your hips nice and high so your spine can lengthen. Good, and then resting your knees into child's pose. Resting your hands. Taking your focus along your spine. And particularly between your shoulder blades, that part of your body be broad. Good. Reach your arms all the way forward. Good. Look forward. Bring your elbows out to the side. Bring your chest, your face just above the floor, onto the floor, and we're going to lift up. Up dog. Keep your legs parallel. Good. Take the shoulder blades back. Good. And then we're going to lengthen. Whole torso down onto the floor so that you're onto your belly. Don't need that. Okay. Hands are under the shoulders, legs are parallel. Press the tops of the feet, squeeze the kneecaps. Lift the breastbone, but reach the upper arms, the elbows all the way back towards your hips. Good, and then lowering down. Okay, now you might just keep going with your hands there to support you. If you feel stronger in your back, take the arms back beside you. You can turn your palms up. Good, and we're lowering down. Good. Even stronger, arms out to the side, palms down, straight out from the shoulders. Even stronger, arms out in front, lifting. Good, lowering down. Good, so choose the position that's best for you. Good, it's not straining your neck. Good, and start to work the hands back now if they're out in front. And then lay down and rest, completely rest. So you turn your face to one cheek, letting go. Good. Turn your face to the other cheek, let go. Good, and then hands underneath your shoulders. I'm going to lift the breastbone again. Straight arms if you can, or bend if you need to, but keep the elbows reaching back, the breastbone reaching forward. Draw the shoulder blades down. Lengthen the back of the neck. Don't squash the back of the neck to look up. Good. And then lifting up into all fours. And cat stretch. The whole spine. Let the lower back hang all the way down. Lift up between your shoulder blades. And just see if you can move that part of the spine just between the shoulder blades. Good. Good. And now we're going to lift up between the shoulder blades. Lower back hangs down and just let your neck rest. So let your head hang down. Breathing. Good. And then lift your head, walk your hands back so you're kneeling up. Step your left foot forward. And we're going to come into a deep lunge here, but you can keep your back knee on the floor. So only lift it if you're not wobbly. Otherwise, we've got our legs parallel. Good. We're going to take the right elbow to the outside of the left knee, and hands are in prayer position in front of your heart. Turn your torso, and the neck is nice and long, both sides of the neck. Good. So that's where you can keep your knee on the floor, working here, or tuck your, oh, my floor is hard. Tuck your back toes under, and you can try lifting your knee. And gently looking back over your left shoulder, elongating the neck, lift the breastbone, reach both sides of the waist a little longer. Good, and then release. Knee back down onto the floor. Good, and then we're going to swap sides. So you're going to step your left knee back, so you're kneeling up, and right knee forward. Might be a little wobbly like me. All right, so you can keep your back knee on the floor. We're going to take the left elbow to the outside of the right knee, bring the hands into prayer position, and see if you can lift the breastbone to meet the thumbs. Neck is long. Draw the shoulder blades back. Good. And if you want to try that, lifting the back knee off the floor, you tuck your toes under. Try and keep the hips about the same distance to the floor if you can. Breathing deeply, turning the ribs. Good, and then release. Releasing with ease. Knee back down onto the floor. Good, and stepping back and resting into child's pose. And then rolling up. Okay, and we're going to take a seat, and this is where a blanket might be handy, but you don't have to use that, or a block might give you even more support. I'm just going to use a blanket like that for Gomukhasana. Sit with your legs out in front, feet out in front. You're going to put your left leg under your right leg, and you bring your heel as close to your right hip as you can. Bring your right heel to the outside of the left hip, and you take your knees as close as your hips, your knees allow. Okay, so it might look a little bit more like this, but sit so both sides of your spine feel even. So your hips feel level to the floor. You feel ease and grace in your body. Good. Lifting up your left arm, reach down behind you. Use your right hand to help you lengthen the left ribs. Good. Reach the hand down behind you as far as you can. Good. Lift your chin. Take your right arm out to the side. Rotate the shoulder forward, the palm up, and then bend your arm and you reach as far as you can. Some people are going to be able to hold their hands, lucky people. Not me, I'm going to hold my top. Good. Keep breathing, throat relaxed. Lift your chin. Great. And then we're going to swap sides by releasing the arms, lean back, take your legs out in front, just balance for a moment, and then swap. So your right heel on the outside of the left hip, your left heel on the outside of the right hip, and wherever that works for your legs, but lift both sides of your back. Good. I'm going to reach up the right arm, reach down behind you. Use your left hand to help coax your right elbow towards center and lift your chin. Good. Release your left hand. Rotate the left shoulder forward, palm all the way up to the ceiling as far as you can. And then bending that elbow, reach behind you as far as you can. You might be able to reach on that side or hold your clothing. Good. Elbows moving towards center. Lift your chin. Keep the back of the neck long, throat long. Feel the expansion of your ribs. Good. And then release. Good. We're going to sit in a simple cross-legged position. Take your right arm to the outside of your left knee. Lengthen your spine, but draw your shoulder blades down. Sometimes when we lift the spine, we lift the shoulders and squash the neck, so draw the shoulder blades down. Left ribs start to move back, lifting the heart. Good. The bones of your middle back, a little bit smaller than the bones of your lower back, but the neck bones are much smaller, so be gentle when you turn your neck. Just let it follow really comfortably the stronger turn of those larger bones of your spine. So no force, just seeking clarity. Good, and then you're going to lift up your left arm and keep your torso turning, keep your neck long on both sides, and start to reach your right ribs over your right thigh. And let the left side of your torso lengthen. Good, but keep the neck long, so you only go as far as you need to go. Reaching. Good, and then coming up to center. And release. Back to center, change the cross of your legs, other leg on top. Left hand to the outside of the right knee. Lengthening your spine, releasing your shoulder blades. Let the lower back turn, let your middle back turn, but being really gentle, focusing on the ease in your neck. Good, and then you're going to reach up with your right arm. So your right ribs feel really long, right waist feels really long. And then reach out with your left ribs over your left thigh. Just as far as you can keep both sides of the back long and even, both sides of the neck long and even. Keep the right sitting bone anchored. Good, and then inhale. And come up. Great, back to the first side. Just turning your face to look over your left shoulder. Inhale back to center, over the right. Inhale back to center. Just take notice of what arises, lifting the spine so that the space at the base of the skull feels just that, spacious, easeful. Noticing your breathing, good. And then come back to center. Great. And this is where the blankets will come in handy. If you have a bolster, you could use that. I'm just going to take a blanket and fold it so that it's long and narrow, and put that long ways on my mat. Okay. And then another one like that for my head. If you're used to using blocks, so some people might have gone and got their blocks, you can do something similar, but it would look like this. So you're going to make that edge here, and then you could put a blanket on top. Okay, so I'll just show you with the blankets. People who use your blocks, you'll know what you're doing. But either way, when you get on your equipment, it shouldn't hurt. In fact, it should feel really good. Try and put the edge of the blanket right under the bottom tip of the shoulder blades, just underneath your heart, and thoroughly support your head and your neck so that you're not reaching back onto your head support, squashing the back of the neck. We want to really have the back of the neck long, and you shouldn't feel squashed in the front of the throat, so we're looking for even length. Good. And you can have your legs out straight, arms out a little from the sides of the body, but really try and get your shoulder blades nice and close together, flat against your back. Or you can bring your legs into Supta Baddha Konasana. So if you'd rather use your blocks and you have them, that's the setup. See, there's a little space, and this edge goes at the base of the shoulder blades. I don't recommend trying this unless you've been taught by your teacher in yoga class. But my students, you know what you're doing. You need a head support so that your head is a little higher than your heart. So when you lie down, it really should feel great. It should not feel uncomfortable or hurting you. So don't do it if it hurts. Okay, so the edge of the block at the base of the shoulder blades. And I would stay here for some time. So you could stay here for longer. If you're using the blocks, it's much, it works more quickly in your body. So you might just hold it for, say, 10 breaths. But if you're on soft blankets like this, you could hold it for 30, 40 breaths. So you can pause the video if you like. Good. And then bring your knees together, and to come off the equipment, you just roll carefully off. Good. Take that out from underneath. But we're going to turn that long, narrow blanket sideways. And this time that's going to go underneath your shoulder blades. I need a little more lift, and I've only got little blankets. If it feels too high, then it probably is. We're looking for something that feels really nourishing in your body, not something that's uncomfortable. So if you put that again underneath your shoulder blades, good. But again, you don't want to be squashing the back of the neck. So if that's the case, you're looking for a better height between the two. So I can keep the back of my neck long at that height, but you might want a pillow or less height under your shoulder blades. But just give yourself into that equipment. So see, my arms are at the top of the blankets. And again, you can have legs hip width feet, legs parallel. You could put the soles of the feet together, Supta Baddha Konasana, or legs out straight. So if it feels like you're squashing your neck to take your head to the floor, remember you can have a little bit of a head support. So the back of the neck feels long. So it should feel nourishing, not challenging. Letting go. It's falling into the equipment. And again, holding for as long as you feel you need. When you're ready to come out of that posture, just bring your legs in to bend, rolling gently off the different props you have, and lay back down. Oh, with your back on the floor. Or the shoulder blades down. Good. Your feet are hip width. Legs bend. Legs parallel. Put the arms down beside you, palms down. We're going to gently lift the tailbone off the floor, the lower back off the floor, and then bone by bone. Press across your feet. Lengthen the front of the thighs. Lift your hips just as high as feels comfortable to move. Lift up as high as you can, maybe even getting up between your shoulder blades. Keep the neck really long. And then we're going to lower down. Keep breathing. Bone by bone. Good. Completely relax, finding the natural shape of your spine. Lower back, upper back, neck. And again, lifting your tailbone, sacrum, lower back. Vertebra by vertebra. As high as you can, lengthen the back of your neck. Throat nice and soft. Press across the feet, lengthen the thighs, and as you exhale, lower bone by bone. Completely relaxing into the natural shape of your spine, letting go of tension that is not necessary. And last one. Tailbone lifts, lower back, middle back, bone by bone. As high as you can. Press across your feet, lengthen your thighs, keep your legs parallel, lengthen the back of your neck, relax your throat, holding and breathing. If you can fit your hands underneath your pelvis, you can do that. But relax your neck, relax your shoulders. Good, and then as you exhale, release. Good, and just find the natural shape of your back, lower back, upper back, neck, falling into the floor. Bring the soles of the feet together, knees out wide. Supta Baddha Konasana. If it feels like you've got to squash the back of your neck to reach your head back to the floor, you can put your blanket under your head and your neck. Holding this posture for as long as you like. Really giving the weight of your body to the floor. Thank you for joining me in this practice today. Take the feeling of the practice into your day, evening. Namaste.